common issue women ask you advice on. Shout out to Sterling. Hashtag free top G.
Free the top G. Hopefully he'll be out very soon. We'll see. Most common issue that men come to me with, it tends to be, it depends on their age, actually. So older guys tend to come to me asking how to last longer in the bedroom, which is typically, like premature ejaculation and stuff. And younger dudes tend to come to me with like performance anxiety or erectile dysfunction problem because of their massive overexposure to pornography, which can really, really fuck dudes up in this department, unfortunately. If I don't really have that many women who follow me regularly enough to ask a lot of questions or to even submit a question through email, but I do get, what they tend to ask me is, like, what can I do to like please my man and keep my man around, basically, in bedroom wise, right? And the answer to that is unequivocally just be enthusiastic. The cheat sheet for women in the bedroom is just be enthusiastic for your man and for your man's penis. If you worship that like a goddamn idol, happy days. Like that, you don't really need to do much else. It's so simple. Like it's like easy mode. Like nothing. There's nothing really. Okay, yeah, we've talked about. Okay, like maybe a girl is phenomenal at like giving hand jobs, or phenomenal at giving blow jobs, or whatever the case may be. Well, that's all well and good and fun, but it also probably means that she's got a reasonable body count if she's that good at a particular sex act, right? So that has pluses and minuses in the dude's mind. But if she's just plain enthusiastic for him, then that communicates all the right things to him to want to keep her around.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really good one. Now, going back to something that you mentioned about men with erectile dysfunction, with certain things like pills, or like you got Royal Honey out there. Shout out to Royal Honey
packs.
So, do you think a man can take too much of that to where it's like, damn, like they just can't get it up after so long?
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's the case because it happens in the industry all the time.
Wow.
So you can take, in particular, things like Viagra and see. I think what's it?
Blue pill chews.
What was that honey thing you mentioned a second ago?
Royal Honey.
I'm pretty sure Royal Honey is just like honey with Cialis mixed in it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
yeah. I looked it up. It's the same. It's the same ingredient, or it's something very similar.
Yeah,
to
the same active compound, right? This in particular happens with Viagra. So what happens is, especially if you're a young guy shooting porn, right? So you're shooting like 7 days a week, and like you're basically natural to start off with, and then like the novelty starts to wear down, and then you start to take Viagra, and then like 6 months later the Viagra stops working because you develop a drug resistance, which is totally what happens.
Yeah.
And this can happen not just for dudes in porn, but it can also happen for like an older guy. Let's say an older dude who
taking it regularly.
Yeah, he's taking it very, very regularly, right? If you take this stuff regularly, you'll develop a drug immunity eventually. And they stop working, and you'll need more of the active compound to produce the same result. And then you start getting even worse side effects from these drugs. Like you'll get dizzy, you'll start possible heart problems. Like there's some not fun side effects to these drugs.
Yeah.
So my approach to it has always been like, okay, well, let's attack the root cause of the problem. Is it a blood flow issue? Do you have bad cardiovascular health? Let's start there. Is it a hormonal issue? Your T level's super low. Let's fix that. Like what is going on here that's actually causing this problem? Are you nervous? Is it performance anxiety? Well, we can attack that differently. So let's fix the problem, the underlying actual issue that's causing this, because like there's no reason why a dude 80 shouldn't have like a raging boner.
Yeah.
Like if he stays in shape, he should. I mean, maybe it's not going to be as rock hard as it was when he was like 16, but it should still. Without any chemical assistance.
Of those three things, which one do you think happens the most, or that most people are going through? Like the mental thing. Yours, like what was the three things that you just said?
I said like performance anxiety, which is like a mental thing.
Yeah, performance.
Cardiovascular health or hormonal imbalance.
Which one of those do you think is the most?
In America, it's. I mean, the latter two basically tie into one another because the
cardiovascular.
Cardio. I think there's a lot of fat people in America.
Yeah.
A lot of pre-diabetics. That's definitely. The cardiovascular issue is definitely very prevalent here, but then again, so is the low T level.
Yeah.
But the causes of both of those are very similar, like diet and lack of exercise.
So it's like, all just
you'll get
culture.
You'll get both of those things with a shitty diet and not enough exercise. So
it's so weird. It's just weird to me because like I honestly don't have the best diet. I don't exercise, and it's just so like whenever I like, I'm gonna probably go get my T levels checked in the next week or two because Michael Sartain told me to go get them checked. So I'm gonna do it before the show I have with him, and but I feel like I'm a very good level, and it's just weird because I'm not that healthy. Like I'm not doing a lot of good shit. I'm very curious, like what actually makes people in the better position.
Dudes are just blessed with like,
Good genetics. Yeah.
super high T. Super.
Yeah.
The other big thing is your prolactin levels. That prolactin is this chemical that no one really talks about unless they're like bodybuilders or anything like this. So prolactin is the chemical that your brain secretes when you orgasm as a dude, right?
Yeah, that's you can eat something or drink something and it produces more of it. That's why I'd heard that word.
You can reduce it as well.
Oh, okay.
So a lower prolactin level equals a higher sex drive, basically.
Oh.
Roughly speaking. Yeah, and if you have a high prolactin level, you have very low sex drive.
So you don't want to eat certain things because it will raise that level, and you want to eat certain things to lower it.
And if you jerk off more, it'll raise it.
Wow. Well, guys, don't fucking jerk off then at all. Jesus. But like I was saying, in a relationship, I think sometimes it's healthy, sometimes maybe to do it so you don't go cheat on somebody or something. But yeah, guys should really no fat. Or like, what do you think about the no fat movement? Do you think that the semen retention is a good thing for guys? Like, I'm guessing you agree with all.
Yeah,
of
I mean, I think it's like the general concept is perfectly fine. Do I think it attributes like superhuman abilities to you? No.
Like the forums say, I read
yeah,
some crazy shit on Reddit about no fat.
I think a lot of what they're attributing is just basically momentum.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Because like, okay,
they'll do it for 30 days and they think it's momentum.
I think they're superhuman. Like physiologically, like I think they've done studies on like no fat and testosterone levels, and I think after 7 days they peak. Like you get an increase for the first 7 days of no fat, and then it peaks, and it doesn't gobble down.
So you just might as well masturbate after 7 days. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, but like the idea is that it's like they have 30 days of no fap or 3 months, and they're like, I'm amazing. It's even better than I thought it was going to be. Well, that's really just momentum. You cultivated a good habit in that first 7 days, so your T levels are up a bit. Your motivation is probably, your discipline and motivation are probably up a bit. Like your drive to actually accomplish things throughout the day, probably better. Probably getting better sleep too, if you're not jerking off at night to like seeing blue light.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a compounding effect. Cool. So now you've done this for 30 days. Like the first good habit of like stopping to jerk off has resulted in a bunch of other good habits probably. So now you've got this compounding effect. So obviously it's going to get better after 30 days. But it's not just the, I'm being very technical here, but it's not just the fact that you're retaining your semen, right? I guarantee you, if you were jizzing in a woman during that, after take a week off of not bapping, and then like the next week you have sex, you're still going to be on a roll.
Yeah.
Like
it's not gonna just kill your roll just because you fuck something. Yeah.
Now, should you go back to jerking off? Probably not, because you've had fantastic success. So don't ruin that momentum. Keep going. But just it doesn't mean you have to like get like a prostate problem because you're retaining so much goddamn semen.
Yeah.
When you're having sex with your missus.
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
See, like me personally, man, honestly, just being honest, I don't think I could go like 4, 5, 7 days maybe without like getting one off. But for you personally, like, can you wait 2 weeks, a month?
Yeah,
like what? Like how often do you like to like wait in between?
Oh, I can wait 1 or 2 weeks easily.
Yeah, and but after like a week or two, you're kind of like, man, I really want to smash, and you start like DMing some girls back.
Yeah, it's really like, do I want to focus on work right now? And then I'll focus on work, and I'll get to a point where like, god damn it, I need to fuck.
It's time to get it out. But like, what did you say? Like your number's like 2 weeks. You're like, okay, it's time to get this shit out.
It's probably like a week.
Probably about a week. Yeah. See, I'm like 4 or 5, maybe 7. I can't remember the last time I waited longer than a week. I don't know. I guess I'm an animal. I want to know, which is more popular, you think, as somebody that works in pornography, innie or outie vaginas? It's something I like to joke about. I like to joke about this on the show, bro. And like, I know a vagina doesn't change based off of a guy's dick size or anything like that, but I just think that it's messed up that women shave men that have small dicks. So because they shave men for something that they can't control, it's just, it's just their natural thing. I just think that I should give the same shame back to women. Like I have a personal thing where I don't like outies. I've always only liked innies. So
that's an outie is like one where it's like the flaps and stuff.
Yeah, a wizard sleeve, as we'd like to say.
Okay,
and like so like I probably don't like those. So like I'll talk shit on them. Like And sometimes I know that women wouldn't like that, but it's just like, I mean, y'all shame a guy for something he can't control. Why can't I shame y'all for this? You know, it's just my personal, it's a preference thing. You know how some girls, they prefer a bigger dick or a smaller, you know, it's a preference thing. Some guys love the roast beefs. Like there's a percentage of men that love that shit, but that's my preference.